or Richard, too.
They're going to flip the switch on Wednesday. Look out.
Yeah, well, the thing that concerns me and should concern everybody, and I think we've kind of forgotten about it, is a few years ago, and I'm not sure if I saw it on a Coast website or I saw it in the book of crop circles, but a number of years ago, there was one crop circle that showed our solar system with everything in place, but the Earth was gone.
No way.
I swear.
I got to check in with Linda Moulton House. She'll probably know that.
Thing. It was. I couldn't figure out how that could happen, and then I'm trying to tie in the whole Planet X thing. Okay.
Oh man.
And I'm thinking, well, okay, what would take the Earth completely away? And then there's the whole philosophy that as we circle back into the universe, that we fall into all these things coming at us, or we bop into a hole and get transferred into this higher level of things. They're tying it into 212 and everything. And really, I on the show tonight, I'm listening and I'm thinking, my God, that crop circle, it ties right in.
And about what year do you think you remember seeing this?
Oh, geez, George, I'm not sure, but I'm positive it's in the book for sure.
Okay.
Of crop circles. That gentleman from England,
Colin Andrews.
That's the man. He'd be the guy.
Okay, we'll check that out.
Contact that. But I think looking at that, these people really better check their math, and they really, really better check the philosophy behind what.
Can you imagine if they do this?
Well, what's freakish about it is the crop circle is way older than when they let on they were even built.
Maybe the crop formation phenomenon was geared to us waking up with some kind of a message that you can't play around with Mother Nature the way we've been doing it.
Well, I kind of think in the lines of a cross of things, and some of it, when you listen to these people that take the geometries of it and do some pretty fantastic things, or flip them around three-dimensionally and come up with these designs of things. And with the think tanks we have today, they're looking at everything.
See, if some real scientists are concerned that we could create these black holes and it could eat up the planet, we need to look into that. I mean, these guys are well-educated. They're degreed up, to the gazoo. We need to stop for a moment and say, we can't flip this switch. There's something we need to check. Quite honestly, is it worth risking the planet to find out what happened a fraction after the Big Bang?
Not on an if.
No. Heck no.
That's what I got to say, George.
Okay.
I hope everybody takes a look at this.
We're sounding off tonight right here on Coast to Coast. William in Spartanburg, California. You're up with us. Hi, William.
George, I want to sound off. I'm here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I want to sound off about these RFID chips. I think I figured out how they're going to do it.
All right.
They're going to first of all, they're going to come forward about the sex offenders, because you know how everybody's running around with the hysteria about it.
Right.
Like, we let them out, and then they go out and rape another child.
And see, that's how you get people to say, well, maybe they're not all that bad.
Well,
right?
See, here's what they're going to do. They're going to put these RFID chips in a couple of pedophiles and say, look, we can track them by satellite. Look, we can have these things set up in a school. If they walk by a school or walk into a school, it'll go off.
Right.
And people say, yeah, sure, let's do that. Let's put them in the pedophiles. Then the next thing they'll do, they'll put them in the rapists that they let out. Then they'll put them in the murderers that they let out. Then they'll put them in the drug dealers that they
And
let
everybody will agree with this.
Exactly, because they'll keep thinking, oh, we're keeping society safe. I'm going to tell you right now, George, if they start doing that, you're going to find a lot of these people, and yes, including the pedophiles, committing suicide, because they're going to realize the only way I'm going to get out of prison or jail is that they put the mark of the beast in my hand or in my shoulder or in my forehead or whatever, and that's the only way I'm going to get out. So I either have a choice, stay in jail or sell my soul.
Man, that's a frightening thought, isn't it? We were talking with Catherine Albrecht last week. She was in Los Angeles on business, so we went out to lunch with her, and, I mean, there were more and more stories coming down the pike with RFID chips. I mean, it is absolutely incredible. Next up, Jerry in Ohio, first-time caller. Sound off, Jerry.
George?
Yes, sir.
I am ticked off. I was at Ed Grimsley's site looking at the UFOs on YouTube.
Right.
And off to the left, I saw Kennedy assassination. And curiosity, I pulled it up. And what I saw, to my dismay, blew me away. I had to go out on the back porch and take a deep breath. The driver of the limo is the one that shot Kennedy point blank in the head.
Jerry, I was at an event where someone came up to me very confidentially and told me that exact same thing. Now, the video I've looked at, I can't really tell, but he does turn around, in an awkward way, and it looks like he's pointing something, doesn't it?
Well, yes. Well, you can see the gun. There's several videos on there. I tried this weekend when I got back home. I went and saw 3 different footages. I saw some black and white, and I saw some colored. Now, there was one footage, the one that I clipped on, it said, "Beware of the New World Order," and it had talking about Kennedy was giving a speech about secret societies. And then they showed the clip, and then they zoom in on the you can clearly see the gun. The driver, it looks like Oswald shot him from behind in the back first.
Or somebody back there.
Somebody did. It was a shot from behind, and he's lunched over. And then right after that hit, the driver looks back, and you can see the gun. I mean, the camera, they slowed down the footage, and you can see the gun in his hand. You can see the smoke coming out of the gun, and you can see the head blowing out in the direction of the bullet wound. Everything
that could go wrong that day went wrong. It was really, truly bizarre.
Well, here's what I'm here's what I'm ticked off about. I saw another footage, and it was showing everybody that was sitting in the car, and I can't remember the guy. It was one of the head CIA guys sitting in the front seat, and he didn't even look to the right or left. No,
you're absolutely right about it. And also by that time, John Connally, who was the governor of Texas at the time, he was wounded and slumped down too. I don't know if we'll ever get the answer to what happened to John F. Kennedy. I'll be back in a moment as we continue to sound off on Coast to Coast this morning. I'm George Norrie. Yep, sound off open lines for you this hour. I was looking at these maps of these tropical storms and hurricanes that keep blowing by, and it's almost as if somebody's aiming them at us. It's just too weird, isn't it? Hey, on our next Coast to Coast program, Melinda Leslie and Joe Montaldo join us. They're going to discuss their recent work researching abductees who have been interrogated, followed, even abducted by covert operatives following their alien abduction. Should be a phenomenal show on Coast to Coast AM. West of the Rockies, Sherry in Washington, sound off. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, George. What I want to sound off about is a few things. First of all, at the end of John McCain's speech at the Republican convention, I couldn't help but be struck by the words security and prosperity. Our security and prosperity depend on blah, blah, blah. I don't remember what he said after that. But isn't that kind of uncanny when you think about the security and prosperity partnership that they're trying to implement?
Yeah, that's true.
Another interesting thing is my partner, he's Scottish, and he said, did you know that Mac means son of? So if you take McCain, son of Cain.
You don't think? No.
Well, I do. I felt palpable evil when I listened to the Republican convention. I downloaded it on computer.
You really? See, I don't feel evil from any of these candidates. I just, they may not be the most exciting, but to me, they don't seem evil. I mean, they're just there.
I didn't feel it so much from McCain himself as from Sarah Palin. I really felt this sense.
Really?
Yeah, that she was posing and that vitriol was just spewing out of her. I mean, the way she attacked Obama and the way she put down him as a community organizer. Since when is community organization a thing to be ashamed of? Helping other people. She turned it, she spun it. Like, because he's a community organizer, that means he's not experienced enough to lead.
It's all politics, you know that.
Yeah, but some people buy into it.
A lot of people buy into it. Thanks for the call. Thanks for sounding off. Jim in Pensacola, Florida, east of the Rockies. Sound off, Jim. Go ahead.
Hey, George, I want to sound off about all the broken glass out on the streets. I started riding my bicycle seriously 2.5 years ago.
Okay, pedal bicycle or motorcycle?
Pedal bicycle.
Okay.
I'm a very serious road cyclist.
Okay.
And people have been throwing their beer bottles and other whiskey bottles and stuff out in the street. I've gone through a slew of flats.
Oh, man.
And, see, this is quite a local thing. Everybody's talking about global this, global that. Washington, who cares? I ride a bicycle, and it matters to me.
I can't stand it when you see someone roll down their window and throw anything out.